Hey, this is Jennifer, and in today's video, we're gonna do belly dancing for hip mobility. So I know a lot of us have tight hips, and a big reason for that is because, hello, we sit most of the day, myself included. I consider myself a really active person, but I still sit for many, many hours a day. So when we sit, what happens is our hip flexors, and I'll do a hip flexor stretch for us, get really tight, and it can really just lock up our entire hips, pelvis, low back. So today I put together a sequence that will help to increase the mobility and the flexibility in your hips, get those areas moving and loosened up, and just get you feeling good in your body. I definitely recommend including this as a part of your regular routine to keep your hips feeling mobile and flexible and fluid, which is how we want to feel in our bodies. If you're looking for more variety in your belly dance routine, more detailed tutorials, and a specific path towards success, then check out my Feminine Fire program. The link is in the description below. You can get a 7-day trial for only $1, and I think you're gonna love it. So let's get into it. Let's do our routine for our hip mobility. All right, so let's do our belly dance for hip mobility. So, as I said in the intro, we sit a lot. And so our hip flexors, which are these muscles in the front here, get really tight because we're constantly in this position here. So I want to show you a really good hip flexor stretch to start with. And this is a really good stretch to do throughout the day. So you want to bring one of your feet back, one of your legs back. Your heel is pointing towards the sky. You're going to tuck your tailbone under. And as you tuck your tailbone under and pull your belly button into your spine and keep that knee bent, so it should be like a 90 degrees here. You should feel a really nice stretch in the front of this thigh here, the one that's where the leg is back. If you want to feel it a little bit deeper, you can raise that same arm and bring it to the side. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should really be feeling that here. You should really be feeling a nice stretch. If you're not, you might need to just tuck your tailbone under a little bit more. Just kind of play around with it. Let's do the other side. So heel up towards the sky, nice and tall in your upper body. Bring your belly button to your spine. Tuck the tailbone under. It might take a little while to feel your balance here. Feel free to, put your hands on the back of a chair or something. If you want a deeper stretch, raise that same arm and a little bit to the side here. Should feel that nice stretch in that front of the thigh. This is really, really important. If you've been sitting at your computer for an hour or more, get up and just do a few minutes of this. The next thing I want to do a little hamstring stretch. So bring your toes up this time, toes up towards the ceiling, and we're just bending forward. And you don't want to do a lot of static stretching if you're not warmed up, so you just do more of a dynamic stretch. You don't stay in the stretch for too long, just kind of moving through the range of motion. And let's switch feet. And remembering to breathe, take some nice deep breaths as you do this. Okay, so belly dance movement number 1 for hip mobility is our big hip circle here. So this is a very interesting move because I've been teaching belly dance for 18 plus years. Crazy, and this still is one of the hardest moves for people to get. And I do think that part of it is because we do sit a lot. We tend to be very locked up in our hips and our low back. So the trick with this one is you really want to try to get as much full range of motion as possible. So as much to the back as you can get, as much to the side, as much to the front, side, back, side, front, side. And again, we're just taking it nice and slow here. Try to feel the different areas where you get stuck and just gently, slowly work through those areas. Let's switch sides, switch directions. So whatever, if you were going clockwise before, go counterclockwise, and just see how much range of motion, and also see how that might change over time as you do this routine, as you do these movements, that hopefully you get more range of motion. Okay, now we're gonna do a front to back figure 8. So you can see my knees are bending and straightening. As I go to that side, the knee straightens. So this is really a combination of a twist and a hip slide. I know I'm not really going into too much detail because that's not what this video is about, really breaking everything down. But if you do want more tutorials on how to do each movement step by step, where I really break it down, then check out my Feminine Fire program. The link is in the description. And there's just the most comprehensive belly dance library in there. Okay, so this is called a front to back figure 8. Front to back, front to back. And you know, it feels like this move is all dominated in the hips, but it's really coming from your core. So really engage your core and connect to your core as you do this. And now this might feel a little bit trickier. Instead of going front to back, we're gonna go back to front. Back to front, back to front. Let me show you from the side. So I'm not really putting this into a combo. I just want to show you these movements so that you can do them throughout your day. Take those little mini desk dance breaks. But this is really good for, you can just see how much I'm getting some movement in my hips here. And let's go back to our circles, clockwise circles. Front to back, front to back, front to back. And don't forget to breathe and enjoy, and let's reverse, front, back. Now we're going counterclockwise, back, front to back, front to back. Now let's do our front to back figure 8s, front to back. So we go front here first, and then we swing it back. Front to back, front to back, front to back. And again, you know, don't get hung up on technique ever. Just get into your body and just enjoy feeling the movement. That's always the most important thing. I always say that joy trumps technique every time, so really just enjoy it. Okay, let's do our back to front figure 8. So it's like we're scooping from back to front. Back, back. That actually felt really relaxing. And another suggestion is always feel free to put on music that you really enjoy. It doesn't have to be Arabic, Middle Eastern music. It could be anything. And I would definitely choose a slower tempo when you're practicing these movements, or you don't have to do any music at all. So again, we did these hip circles. We did our front to back figure 8. We did our back to front. And just take those little breaks throughout the day, get your hips moving. I think you're gonna feel a lot better, and would love to hear in the comments as you do this over the upcoming days and weeks, how does this feel? Does it make your hips feel better? I really hope so. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.